Good afternoon everyone and welcome to another episode of Adam's Eats. First thing, welcome to my new subscribers. I've gained a few in the last couple of weeks. I don't know why, I must have been doing something right. But hi, welcome to the channel. I'm sure you've gone through some of my videos and kind of know what to expect. And you probably noticed a bit how weird I am as well. But yeah, that's me. Welcome aboard, it's nice to see you. Leave a comment in the section below, it'd be nice to sort of hear from you. Now today I'm going to make a recipe for you. It's so simple and it's called a frittata. And what is a frittata? Basically just a posh Italian omelette, and it's absolutely delicious, and it's kind of like a nice thick omelette as well, so you're not kind of these piddly thin things that you kind of fold over, but it's a nice thick omelette, which is great because you can have it cold the next day, slice it into wedges, put it in your packed lunch, whatever. But today I'm going to do a recipe for it, and I'm going to go for a Christmassy theme, so I'm going to use sprouts in it, some nice red onion, some rosemary and some smoked bacon. You can use whatever you want in there, but with the Christmas coming up I thought I'll kind of go with that theme. So if you press pause now, make a list of the ingredients that you need and we'll crack on. Okay, right, so the first thing we're going to do is going to make our bacon nice and crisp. So just get your pan on the heat, sort of medium-ish heat. Drizzle of olive oil, you don't need too much because there's going to be fat that's going to come out of that bacon. And what I've done, I've taken my streaky bacon and I've just chopped it into lardons, I suppose you call them. Get that straight in the pan. Now you just want to fry your bacon until the lardons are nice and crispy. Okay, so once your bacon is nice and crisp, you just want to tip it out onto a plate, line with some kitchen paper, and then just put it back on the heat, and all of that goodness in there, you want to keep that, don't rinse that off or wash it, because that's all flavour. Okay, so the next thing you want to put in your pan is your red onion and your sprouts. Now all I've done with these sprouts is I've cut most of them in half, but some of the larger ones I've sort of cut into quarters, just so you got sort of rough even sizes. So just get that all in the pan, turn your heat down to a low kind of heat. You don't want it too aggressive, because what you're looking for is you want to get a nice light brown colour on the sprouts, and you want to get the onions nice and sweated down and soft. Then just add a tiny bit of water. You don't need much, because what that'll do is that'll lift off some of that flavour from the bottom. Next thing you want to do is add in your rosemary. Get that in. Use fresh rosemary if you can, because it's just got a nice stronger, more floral flavour. If you use dried rosemary it's a bit naff. I don't know, just they taste and smell like old tea bags in my opinion, so use fresh if you can. So just mix that around, and we're going to leave that to just gently cook for about between 5 and 10 minutes, just until those sprouts have just gone nice and tender, and then we'll add the eggs. Right, so whilst our sprout mixture is cooking away, we'll get on and we'll beat the eggs. Don't add salt straight to this. If you do that, it breaks down the white. So only add pepper at this point. What we'll do is we'll add salt once we get it in the pan. So just add some pepper, 2 turns, half a teaspoon, something like that. And then you just want to whisk it up. Now at this point, you can tailor this to how you want it. Like some people just like the egg completely mixed up, so it's, you know, completely the same colour. And some like it, you know, a little bit like that, so it's just got bits of white running through it as well, so when it cooks you kind of get a bit of both. I'm not fussed either way, to be honest. I like it just however it comes. Okay, so after about sort of, I'd say 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going to test these sprouts, and I think, point of a knife, go in. They're nice and tender, a bit of resistance, because you want a bit of crunch as well. Now I don't really like sprouts. I mean, when it comes to Christmas, I just, no, I don't really enjoy them that much, to be honest. Like my dad used to say to me when I was a kid, oh, they're just like mini cabbages. No, they're not, because I like cabbage and I don't really like sprouts. But this way, I absolutely love them. I'll eat this all day long. They're nicer, they've got a bit of crunch, they're a bit sweeter, they take on the flavour of the onion and the bacon, so just a lot nicer, I think. Right, we'll get our bacon in as well, get that back in the pan. You just want to put your grill on at this point as well, get your grill nice and hot, give your eggs a final mix, make sure that pepper's all the way through. Straight in. Go in with some salt. Don't want too much. Well, I'll say that, I've put loads on there. I'm sorry, salt police. So you just want to cook it for a couple of minutes, and just till you see the edges set nice and firm, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so after like a few minutes or so, I'd say about 3-4 minutes, you can see that the sides, and it's pretty much set. We're not there yet, obviously, so we're going to finish it off under the grill. The sort of sides are just starting to sort of set together, and you could, the top's almost set as well. You can see that obviously there's a bit runny on the top. And what we're going to do now is turn off the heat, and then you're going to top with your cheese. Now at this point, you can use whatever cheese you want. All right, you can use Gruyere, use Brie, Camembert, cheddar, Emmental, Comté. There's so many different cheeses you could try and use your favourite. But I found that this cheese, Pie de Angloys, I don't know, it's probably some French pronunciation for it that I don't understand, but it's a really nice, soft, mild, creamy, kind of buttery cheese, and it just melts absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to use that, but like I say, use what you want. And all you're going to do is just rip it. I keep the rind on because I like that, and just dot it around the top. Try and get it nice and even. Take your time with it. Okay, so once you've topped it with your cheese, you want to get that in the grill just for a couple of minutes until that egg is nice and set and that cheese is golden brown and bubbling. So I'm going to leave that for a couple of minutes and we'll come back to it. Right, so after a couple of minutes, you want to take your frittata out, and it should be nice and golden brown on the top, and you can see the cheese has melted. Now you just want to leave it there for just a minute, just to cool down just slightly, because you will have a better time getting it out of the pan. Okay, so once it's cooled slightly, to get it out of the pan, it's not actually that hard. You just want to work around the edges. You should really use a wooden spoon or a silicone spatula for this, but you know, whatever. Okay, just get underneath it until it's nice and free. Okay, and then with a bit of luck, just take one edge, it should just slip straight out onto a chopping board or a plate or whatever you're going to use to serve on. Okay, and then just leave that for a minute and then we'll cut a slice and have a look. Well, there we have it, folks. Frittata. Pretty simple, isn't it, really? Let's be honest. Not much to it. And like I said, you can use whatever ingredients you want. Great for kind of leftover Christmas turkey, sprouts, roast potatoes, carrots, you know, you can bung all sorts of stuff in there to use it up. I mean, it makes a difference from kind of the usual bubble and squeak that we all have on Boxing Day. As nice as it is, but this just kind of makes something different. Let's get a nice slice out, and there we have it. You can see we've got all the layers there of the bacon, the onions, the sprouts in there that are absolutely lovely and sweet now as well. You know, some sprouts can be a bit bitter and naff, but cut like this, they go really sweet and tender. So there we have it. Well, there we have it, folks. That's it. Simple recipe, and in typical Gordon Ramsay style, I shall finish it by saying, frittata, done. Well, there we have it, peeps. As you can see, a simple recipe. Frittata, all right. I would try a bit for you, but I've got to save this so I can take a picture of it tomorrow when I've got decent daylight, so I can use it for the thumbnail for the video. If I eat it, obviously, then I've got nothing to take a photo of. And I don't really want to make another one tomorrow because I've already made one last night when I was testing it out and developing it. So that means I'd have 3 to eat in the next couple of days. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to save this one and use it for the photo. But I can assure you it's delicious because I tried some when I developed it obviously last night. You know, that's the lengths that I go to, right? To make sure that you get good videos, you know, and I don't just put any old rubbish on here. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you like my videos. Leave a comment below as well if you've got any other ideas for recipes and stuff. Always like to hear your comments. I'll leave all my social media links in the description below. And if you see below here, these are all the profiles that I'm currently on. I'll see you guys next time. Adios.